So I'm starting to drive out here in normal mode and still plenty peppy. This 2-liter or 2.5 liter turbo engine is. Really like that. And I love the low end power that you get. Like coming out of a corner like that, you need to have that upfront torque, and I like that I was able to get that even with this being turbocharged. So I will say, as opposed to the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder you get in the Santa Cruz, really like the turbo better. I feel like it's a lot easier to accelerate. Now, of course, you're not going to get as good gas mileage, but a lot of that just depends on how you put your foot into the pedal and how you drive anyway. So depending on who's behind the wheel, it's really not that big of a difference. It's not like having a V8 as opposed to a 4-cylinder or something like that. Like, this is pretty similar in terms of gas mileage. That naturally aspirated one's just a little bit better though. I'm gonna put it in a sport mode now. Well, that's snow mode. And love having the curbside cameras there. So really like how responsive the paddle shifters are. In this Santa Cruz. And with the turbo engine, having the dual clutch is just really, really fun. And it really makes for a more sporty drive feel. And just great pull from the turbo engine in general. So I have the lane centering on with the adaptive cruise now. And even though it's really windy out, still doing a good job of keeping me centered in the lines. And even with the 20s on there, I can hear the road a little bit more, but really, really good ride quality. And I really like how the steering is in the sport mode. I can kind of feel how loose it is in the normal mode, and then when I put it into sport, it just gets really stiff. So I'm liking that. And I shouldn't even say really stiff, just subtly stiff, but you know, enough for you to notice. But just a really fun truck to drive. Now, in terms of other vehicles in this segment, the Maverick definitely comes to mind. And as much as I like that truck, there's really not a powertrain. I feel like the 2-liter turbo offered in that truck just doesn't give you the same feel as this one does, having this 2.5 liter. Now, of course, you do get the hybrid powertrain available in that. And other than that, I mean, you have slightly bigger trucks, the Tacoma, the Colorado, but really, there's a reason that the Santa Cruz and the Maverick sell so well. Is because they drive like cars with pickup beds in them. And that's what makes this such a great vehicle. And honestly, I definitely recommend getting the 2.5 turbo over the naturally aspirated 2.5, just because it's that much more fun and you're not really saving that much more with the fuel mileage in everyday driving. And specifically in this limited trim level, all the safety features you get, all the technology really do make it worth your while, in my opinion. As opposed to maybe getting a Maverick, especially since those are still selling for crazy money right now. I would recommend getting this over that, unless you can get one a sticker, and then you can compare apples to apples. But with that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of the new 2023 Hyundai Santa Cruz Limited all-wheel drive.